All right, welcome back. And today, oh man, there's so much drama and stuff just been going on with Star Wars theory, and the Acolyte and all this other stuff, and it's just a lot to unpack. And my last video, I tried to be a little bit positive, tried to make like a theory and stuff like that on who the master is. By the way, a lot of people are going that it's Khmer, which is kind of crazy, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. That'll be kind of crazy. But today we're gonna talk about Ki-Adi-Mudi, bro, because I think that's the main thing that a lot of Star Wars fans are divided about, either that he should be in the Acolyte or that he shouldn't be in the Acolyte. So again, I'm gonna go into this. I'm not gonna be like a dick about it or anything like that. I'm just gonna try to give you my opinion on why I feel like he should or shouldn't be in there. So the first time we ever see Ki-Adi-Mudi in Star Wars is during The Phantom Menace, and this is where he gives his iconic line that the Sith haven't been seen in a millennium. And while all of this is happening, we also know about Anakin, that the Jedi don't believe that Anakin was born from the Force. They just kind of make Qui-Gon look dumb because they just don't believe anything that he says. Like I said before, the Jedi are very overconfident in themselves. They are kind of they're very stubborn, and they have a very big ego to the point where they just don't believe that there could be a Sith or that there could be a threat to them. Saying in all of that, Ki-Adi-Mudi is in the Acolyte. And with Ki-Adi-Mudi being the Acolyte, the main problem isn't his birth date. The main problem isn't that he was born during this era. The problem is that he was there and he knows about the twins. I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans just kind of are focusing on the wrong thing right now, because I know that a lot of them were talking about the Wikipedia thing. I know a lot of people were talking about his birth date and stuff like that, the legends and canon and everything. But the thing is that the main problem is just him being there in general. Even if he was born at that time and he didn't know about all of this, that's different. I mean, he could be born during this time and not know about this, and it would be perfectly fine. It's the fact that he was part of this little group of Jedi that knew about May and Osha and possibly the Master. Now on Twitter, I was going through just trying to be a little bit positive about the situation and have a little theory that what if Ki-Adi-Mudi really did know about this and he knew about this during the Phantom Menace, but because of how corrupt the Jedi could be at points and times, again, like I said, their ego, they're very like overconfident in themselves, whatever, it could be that Ki-Adi-Mudi was meant to keep this whole thing secret. I know that sounds very stupid. I know that sounds like I'm reaching or something like that, but at this point I feel like we need to try to find some reason to make it work. And it's not like that I like that he was there. It's not that I like that he knew about all of this and that he just didn't say anything in Phantom Menace. It's more of just, at this point, we can't really change anything, and the best we can do is just try to go forward and see how this can fit into the story. So the theory is that either he was told to be silenced about it for all this time, that he wasn't supposed to talk about it, or he is a corrupt Jedi that really just doesn't talk about stuff like that, or when this was brought up that he just either froze or something. And it's kind of hard to make an assumption that he is corrupt. I can't really fathom the fact that he just forgot about this big event of Jedi dying, of a Sith, possibly a Sith, training people to kill Jedi, two twins that were born from the Force. Like there's no way that this is something that he forgets, and that's the problem here. And again, like I said, a lot of people are just very focused on the birth date, and that's not the important part here. Twitter fans are just going back and forth of just that, going back and forth of what's canon, what's not canon. We need to focus on the fact that he was there. He knows of these events. He knows of May and Osha. During the Phantom Menace, he doesn't say anything about the two twins. He doesn't say anything about the Master. He doesn't say anything about the possibility of Sith already being here. And if he did talk about these things, then Yoda, the Jedi Council, they wouldn't be so surprised of Anakin being conceived by the Force. He would be technically the third person that was conceived by the Force, and it wouldn't be as of a big shock to them. They would have already heard this story before. And it also goes down to people are thinking that Shmi was part of the Covenant of Witches, which I'd hope not, because again, it just makes everything not special about Anakin at this point. So Ki-Adi-Mudi being there is just gonna be either he forgot about it or he was told to be silenced about it. It's just really bad writing. Now it's getting to the point where a lot of people are talking about why is it bad to break the canon, and I feel like this is the problem right here. People are saying that George Lucas changed a lot of stuff. Even the original trilogies kind of like sidetracked itself with for example, Leia saying that she remembers her mother and stuff like that, which is true. And I mean, the thing is that these three movies were literally made before the prequels, before he had to plan for the prequels. And the thing is that he is the creator of Star Wars, so technically if he were to change something, that's just considered considered canon now. He could change a whole thing about Luke Skywalker or something like that, and it would be considered canon because he's the one that made Star Wars at that time. And you know, we wouldn't like it, but it's just the fact that he is the creator, and if anything he changes, it should go. And that's, at least that's what I believe. Now the big difference between that and then a show writer making a show based off of an established canon that's already made, there's a big difference from trying to rewrite the canon that's again, like I said, that's already established, and it just kind of messes it up. So you know, trying to write a show that's gonna break some canon that's already established from past movies and past shows, it just doesn't make any sense. Ki-Adi-Mudi is in the Clone Wars TV series. He never talks about it. He's in the Phantom Menace. He never talks about it. He's literally on the Jedi Council from episodes 1, 2, and 3. He never talks about it. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Ki-Adi-Mudi. I don't know what his story is gonna be. I'm gonna guess that he either had to be silenced about this and they're gonna like kind of tell that towards the end of the show, or I don't know. They need to make some kind of story that's gonna fit with what they're doing right now. So but hopefully soon they kind of just make a good story and they make it make sense. That's all, honestly, all we can hope for at this point. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see y'all on the next one.